Hey, can you hear me? Here, hold one sec. Let me let me unmute you. Takes me a second.
Oh, that was us. Can you hear us now?
You can probably hear me. Can you hear me now? No?
Yeah. Can you hear us now?
I think
How about now?
I can hear you. Can you hear
You
us?
can. Let me turn you up.
Actually, it says that we're muted by you.
Well, and also I had my volume down really low.
Oh,
Technical difficulties.
oh my God. I'm just so unsavvy, technical savvy, and these Zoom
Oh,
calls are killing me.
trust me. That's the worst part of all this. And I've got a few new people coming on tonight. So let me get this new lady. One sec, Cindy. Let's see if I can get her.
I see someone.
There she is. All right. Now, if I can figure out how to get, oh, there we go. Unmute. Yeah, I think I have it set. Hey, how's it going?
It's not a good movie.
Danielle, it's funny. I saw your name and I was like, oh, I wonder who's
The movie is a
All right, shh, quiet.
The movie is like.
Can you hear me, Danielle?
Hey,
Hey,
you hear
how's
me?
it going? Can you hear me?
Mute yourself.
I think my headphones don't work.
I can hear you.
I'm gonna grab some new ones. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm so excited to go to the beach.
I think everybody, it's funny. When everybody starts, it's always like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then I have to try to cut that out because I'm recording all this, so you can watch it over again if you
Gotcha.
missed steps and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see if somebody else is in. Here's Gigi.
Why did this give me Stranger Things season 3 vibes? Like the carnival.
Hi, Gigi. Let me unmute you.
Like literally, whenever I see a carnival at night, I'm always going to think of Stranger Things season 3.
Hi, Gigi. How's it going?
very good.
Good. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound okay?
Yep.
Okay. Let's wait till we get everybody going and then I'll get
Joe, my daughter Samantha is joining us too.
Hi, Samantha. I wondered. I'm like, hello, little person. Well, you're not little, actually. Yeah. Do you guys have all your paints and your brushes and everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't have any canvases because I couldn't find any, but we have paper that you can acrylic paint on.
Perfect. Kind of like that heavy duty thick paper.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
great.
Order some.
That's great.
I was behind the 8 ball. I'm always, last minute, and of course I couldn't find any.
Well, and the cool thing is if you go to Michael's, you can get like a value pack of 8x10 canvases. And I always do like curbside service. You can just kind of order it and they'll chuck it in your trunk and you're good to go.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think there might be 1 or 2 more people coming, but we'll just get started. So everybody knows what we're going to be doing today is this, and I'm going to turn the camera around soon. So if you want to make sure that you have the colors, so you want to make sure you have green, blue, and yellow. If you don't have yellow, maybe even like an orange, make sure you have white. If you don't have pink, we can mix up colors to make the pink. So if you have red, that would be good too. Let's just go through our supplies and make sure you have a couple different brushes. You don't have to use all these brushes. I'm probably gonna mostly use this one, and then maybe this little round one here, maybe some details, right? I'm gonna mute everybody, but if you guys have any questions as we're going, I wanna make sure you just go into the chat section and send me a note, okay? So I'm gonna mute you all, not that I don't wanna listen. And then make sure you have actually a bowl of water, okay? Make sure you have a rag, all right? And you have your canvas. If you don't have a canvas, paper is good. So we're gonna use these an 8x10 canvas, okay? And okay, I'm gonna mute everybody. And you can unmute yourself if you want, okay? Alrighty. And I am going to change the screen and the camera angle so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So we're going on a little tour here, and then you're gonna go all the way down. So you get to the right angle so that you can see. Let's see, probably right about there. Okay, let me go. I want to make sure I can get my view well, good. So that, all right, so you guys can see this canvas pretty well, right? You see all my paints up here, and then you see this is the project that we're gonna do. All right, everybody, thumbs up. Yes, 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 good, good, good. All right, okay, so let's get started. The first squirt it right there, but go ahead and put it or a paper plate. So squirt your white out. Okay, we've got a question. Oh, I'm frozen. Am I unfrozen now? Okay, thank you. Okay, so you got the white paint out, and then if you have green, squirt out just a tiny bit of green, okay? Yeah, and thank you. If you ever have any questions or if I'm frozen and I'm babbling on, just please let me know. So, and it doesn't matter what color green you have, just any green, because we can lighten it or darken it, right? See if I can get the colors to show. Okay, so let's look at the art right now. If you notice, you've got sky right up here. This whole section is sky, and then you have grass all down in through here. So the first thing I want you to do is I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to take a line. We're going to start from here. So it's not halfway. It's just a little bit higher than halfway. And we're going to take a green line and draw it all the way down. Don't worry about this fence. Don't worry about all the little details. We're just going to get a brush, and let's see what brush is a good one to use. Something kind of smallish, like this one would be good. Yeah, that's good, Gigi. That's a good one. Cindy, let's see your brush. Yep, that's a good one. How about Danielle? Let's see. Do you have a brush handy? Kind of like that. Yep. Let's see yours, Danielle. Yours looks a little bit big. You're moving it away from your hair. Okay, there you go. Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit big, but if you do maybe a little smaller, just we just want to have a kind of a thin line. So you want to take your brush and you want to dip it into your water, okay? And just tap off the excess water. And I want you to dip it into the green, okay? So you've got the green loaded up on your brush, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to start in the halfway mark. I'm going to start up a little bit higher, and I'm going to take a line. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to draw a line down like that. You see how it kind of replicates the back, the green part? Yeah. And everybody knows I always work with acrylics in these classes. They dry the quickest. They're just the easiest medium to use. Okay, so that's the first part. Now, I'm just gonna lay it down just to make sure you guys can see it, okay? And I'm gonna dip back into the green, okay? So dip your brush back into the green. Move it so you can see. There we go. And now see how there's almost like a line here. It's like a little bit darker down here. I just want you to just do a little line, just kind of like that. So 2 green lines. Okay. So what we're doing right now is establishing where the different parts are going to go. So go ahead and rinse your brush out. Okay. So we'll put that brush down. And now we're going to get a little bit of blue. Okay. So I have this light blue color, but if you have something that's dark, that's okay. Just squirt a little bit of whatever blue you have. Okay, squirt the blue out. And this time, I want you to get a little bit bigger brush. So if you had a smaller brush to make that green line, I want you to get a little bit bigger brush. See, mine's kind of a rounded. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just something a little fatter. Oh, Gigi, you've got a nice location there, sitting outside. I like it. Okay, so get that brush, okay? And then I want you to wet it just a little bit, okay? And again, tap off the extra just so it's wet. Then I want you to load the brush up with the blue, okay? And I want you to color this entire back part all the way down to this green. I know there's yellow in here, but that's okay. We're just going to do this whole thing blue for right now, from the top all the way down here, okay? So just, and one thing, you want to make sure the strokes are going side to side. I wouldn't go all scribble scrabble, okay? And if anybody's taken a class from me before, they know that I'm not technical at all. So anybody can understand. Being technical when it comes to painting, to me, is a little overrated. It's not as fun. That's okay. So just keep filling that whole section in. Okay. And if you need to extend the paint just a little bit, you can dip your brush into water, and that'll keep that paint flowing. Sometimes you don't need extra paint, you just need a little extra water to get it loosened up. And one thing, you want to make sure it's not too thick, because we do want it to dry fairly quickly, okay? So you kind of want it to look like that. And one thing I always like to tell people, you can do the sides of the canvas if you'd like at the very end, or you can do it as you go. If you do paint them, the edges as you go, just be aware that you can get it on you a lot easier. So you want to be careful, because you can rub up against it. Danielle, you get into your work, I see. I do too. I definitely do. So I'm just gonna pause. I see lots of brushing. So just once you get the sky down, let me know. Yep, that's good. I like it. Yeah, show me your handiwork. And at a certain point, you have to not keep going over it and over it, because you do want to let it settle out and dry. And we'll go back to the sky, because what I do like to do is rotate throughout the art. So I do the sky, then the grass, and then go back to the sky and mix up all the elements. Let's see, Gigi. Yes, very good. I like it. That's a big canvas you've got there. Yeah. I'm going to say hello. Here I am again. All right, so does everybody have their sky pretty much? Yeah? Okay. Cindy, let's see your sky. Ooh, shift it over. Ooh, good job. All right, okay. All right, let me slide you back over here. There we go. Okay. So now you're gonna rinse your brush out, and we're gonna use that same brush that we used for the sky. And I wanna get a little bit of yellow. If you have yellow, squirt a tiny bit of yellow out next to the green, okay? So just a little bit of yellow next to the green. And so see on the art, this part right here is a little bit of a yellowy sort of green in here. So it would be right in this area. It's a bit of a yellowy green. We're gonna paint that yellowy green. And again, I want the strokes to go back and forth, okay? So what you can do is dip that big fat brush into the water, tap off the excess, dip it into the yellow and a little bit of the green. So you see how I've got yellow and green on my brush at the same time? Okay. And I want you to do sweeping motions, starting from the top and kind of working your way down, almost like it's going down the slope, okay? See how it's just kind of just gliding down the slope. And don't work the colors in too much, because it actually looks kind of cool when you have a little of the yellow show through and a little bit of the darker green. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and just wrap the canvas with the color. If you can see right there on the edge, I'm just going to bring it up just so I can finish that little detail. And just take the paint and just smooth it over, okay? Just smooth it over. I'm not even gonna add more water. I'm just gonna add, I'm not gonna add any more paint. I'm gonna add just a little bit more water and see what I can get out of it. See how much paint I can move from the top to the bottom and just shift it down. Just keep shifting it down. Okay. And you might need to pick up just a little bit more green. This is where it's just very relaxing, just going back and forth, right? And as I always say in all my classes, this is a piece I did a while ago, and when I end up with this piece, it's going to be totally different. Just like everybody in the classes is going to end up different. And I think that's the cool part. Everybody's going to have a different piece of art at the end. So yours should look similar to this. And if you notice, while we're working on our green part, oh yeah, there you go, Danielle. That's cool. I like it. That looks good. So while we're working on the green part, we're letting the blue part dry, right? So we're going to keep working sections. Gigi, let's see yours. Yeah, there you go. That looks good. And remember to do long sweeping strokes, okay? And once you get that section of light green, I want you to take the straight green and no yellow added and do the bottom part here. See how it's just a little bit darker down at this part? You just want to get your brush loaded up with the dark green and just bring that dark green all across the bottom, okay? I'm going to unmute you. So if you want to have, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to stay muted, that's fine too. Okay. So the bottom part is just going to be straight green. Okay.
So Jill, I have a couple different greens, but this green that I just picked up looks a little almost
Dark.
blue green. No, it looks like blue green. So should I use a lighter green instead?
You know what? Go over it with the blue green. Just a quick swipe and use what you have on your brush.
Okay.
Let's see it.
Oh no, I guess it doesn't look that blue once you get it on.
Yeah, that looks good. That's I
Okay.
think, is it like Viridian blue? I think it's
That one.
It's this. It's just this one. I don't know. But then
Yeah.
I have a ton of these too because Mia paints a ton, so I have a bunch of these.
Perfect.
little ones
So
too.
yeah, use that one bluey green looks good. I
Okay.
like it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'll make it look a little bit different. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in this green while we're chit-chatting. This is a good painting to do today since it was such a beautiful day. It actually looks like today. Just a happy, sunny day. We're just going to keep putting in all that green. Okay. Long sweeping strokes. And then you can do the bottom part if you want. Kind of put that in there. There we go. So it should look somewhat like that. Mine's looking a little bit watercolory because I've used a lot of water to paint ratio. So that is one thing that I think is really cool about acrylics is that you can make them, you can build them up, or you can make them look really watery like this. So either way is kind of fun. Okay, once you get the green done, go ahead and rinse your brush out and tap off the extra water, okay? And I want everybody to feel their blue on the sky and make sure it's dry, okay? So I don't want you to do anything with the blue if it's not dry yet, because if you start adding yellow to the sky, you're gonna start having a green sky because the blue will pick up with the yellow and create a green. So if that's nice and dry up in the sky, now we can take a little bit of our white and a little of the yellow.
Jill,
Yes, ma'am.
we don't have any white.
That's okay. You have yellow, right?
We do have yellow.
Okay, use yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, just use straight yellow.
Okay.
Okay. So I put a little bit of yellow and white on my brush, and if you only have yellow, not a problem. I probably added a little bit too much white, but that's okay. So now, if you notice on this painting, there's a little bit of yellow in here, and then it goes all the way across and then down here. So this whole section is yellow. So I'm going to just put in just a little bit of yellow in here and bring it all the way across, just like that. Okay. I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue and just make sure I add it to the side here. And if you feel like it's too hard of a line, so I've got a little bit of yellow going through there, you can add a tiny bit of blue over it, but just be careful that it doesn't turn green on you. And I'm going to mute you guys. So, but if you need anything, chat, do the chat thingy. So go ahead and keep picking up the yellow and the white if you have it. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm just going to fill it in. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that yellow around the side. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of blue and just put it up here. And you can see how it turns a tiny bit green, but that's okay. It's actually, I'm thinking of Tiffany blue. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So that's kind of what you're going to start looking like. How's the sun coming? Good? Yeah? Good. Okay, so we can go back into this a little bit, but we're going to hold off on this, letting this yellow dry up a little. And now we're going to focus down here in the dark green, okay? So you don't need to really rinse your brush out. I still have a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, and we're using the same brush. And just go ahead and dip it into the green. Just pick up some green. And I want you to go over this bottom part again. So I want you to make this part a little bit darker green. I need some more green myself. You might need a little bit more green. But what I want is it to get darker. See how it's dark down at the bottom part? The foreground is darker. So we're going to darken that section up. So you can give it a few kind of layers of dark. And then we're going to add a little bit of grass, what looks to be like grass leaves, or I don't know, what do you call it? Blades, that's it, blades. But we're going to first put in this dark green. Okay. And again, don't forget the bottom part. If you're going to do the bottoms, it's usually a good idea to do it as you're going, because you might have a blend of colors that are going to be hard to replicate later. So we've gotten it just a little bit darker. It's starting to look similar. Let's see, Danielle. Okay, so what you want to do is that's good. That's a good start. But what you want to do is see where it's blue at the top where the sun is. There's a hard line. See how we've got like an ombre sort of effect going? You want it to kind of blend into each other, okay? So I want you to take a little bit of yellow and pull it up into the blue, okay? I'm gonna come back in and talk to you guys. Here I am. Hello. All right, so Danielle, on yours, yeah, so if you hold yours up, let's look at it. Actually, if everybody looks and sees, so what Danielle wants to do is take the yellow and bring it into the blue and bring in a little blue into the yellow. So there's not that hard line, all right? So just little wisps of yellow into the blue will take care of it, and a couple little wisps of blue into the yellow. So reverse it. Gigi, let's see how you're doing. There you go. I like it. Good, good, good. Yep. Yeah. Cindy, are you brave? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, just bring it up just a little bit more. Let's see, Cindy, let me see yours again. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay. All right, good. And so you guys have the same thing that's happening, is that you want to kind of blur it a little bit, right? Even a dry brush, just kind of smear it over there a little. Okay, Danielle, let it dry up a little. And then once it dries, we'll be able to smush a little bit, okay? Smush. Yours is gonna look a little bit more graphic. That's what I think. I like that. It's edgy. Yeah, edgy, right? Okay, so now that we've got the dark green, get your dark green going, and then I'm gonna bring you back to the canvas. Here we go. All the way back, down we go. Okay.
My daughter just said, "Mom, let's see," and I showed her, and she went, "Ugh."
Oh boy, we don't need negative feedback.
We got a harsh critic over here.
We're gonna get that thing right by the end of it. And frankly, you're gonna have a tree over it, so it's gonna blur it all out, right? Okay, so actually, Danielle, now that I think of it, we're gonna add some shrubs in. So when you put the shrubs in, you could put them a little higher, and that might take care of that sky issue. Is everybody ready for a little shrub? So if you see, let me see if I can get it really close. See how there are these little shrubby guys right in here? We're just gonna add some little, so instead of this straight line, we're just gonna add little mounds of green right here. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. You're just gonna take the green and put it on your brush. You can use a smaller brush if you want. I'm gonna still use the same brush. And I am going to just, at this bottom part, not at the high part, but at the low part down here, I'm just gonna make little circles, little fluffy circles. So see how there's like a cute little shrub right there? Like a little puffy green. Like a little swirly, so it's almost like a dry brush technique. You don't want to use a lot of water, just a little bit of paint, and you put your brush down and you just push it up, just like that. See how there's those cute little shrubbies? And I used a dark green on it. And I think it will look better if there's 3 shrubs. And instead of them like all piled together, maybe I'll do this one a little bit taller. Okay. And maybe he's going to be just a little bit wider as I personify him. I'll just go like that. Just kind of just giving it an illusion that there's something happening back there in the background. And you can even kind of make it look spiky. I'm just gonna add a couple more back here. And depending on what your sky is looking like, you can kind of add a little, can maybe add it a little higher. And Danielle, this is when you might want to pull it up into the sky. Yeah, there you go. Cool. I like it. That looks good. I'm going to dip my brush into a little bit more dark. I kind of like these dark guys. I might make just one just kind of falling off the page, and he's going to wrap around here. I kind of like that. So see how he kind of went around the edge? And I happen to have a lot of extra green on my brush. I'm just gonna smear it down into that dark area and just fill in where it looks a little light. I'm gonna just add in just a little bit of extra green, adding a little bit of water just to loosen it up. Okay, don't forget to add water. Okay, that's kind of where we're at now. So the next thing, there you go, I like it. Yeah, it's coming, cool. So I want you to now rinse your brush out. We're gonna go back to the grass in a little bit, but I want you to rinse the bigger brush that you have and find your smaller brush. See if you can find a small brush. Pretty little. Let me see what a good one would be. Something like that. Kind of a little pointy, not necessarily a script liner. That's really skinny and long. We don't want that. We want something, let's see, here's Gigi, hold it up. Yeah, that might be just a little too skinny. Maybe something a little fatter. That one's a good one, Cindy. Let's see, Danielle, what do you have? And you know what, Danielle, I'm looking at that one who's the head of the brush looks like it's kind of tilted a little. Try the blue one. Yeah, I think that one would be a good one. Yes, that's good, Gigi. That's a good one. Okay, so you want to get that brush wet. And then I want to make sure you have some black paint. Does everybody have black or brown? And just a little tiny bit of black paint on your palette. Just a little bit. Now, if you guys have done trees with me, I use the word inky when we do trees. So you want to get your brush really, really wet. And I want you to dip it into the black and make it really runny. Okay, so it's like very runny and watery. Okay, so you've got the pigment really loosened up and watery. See how much I've expanded it and it's real kind of runny. Okay. Now I'm going to take this blank canvas here and I just want to show you. I want you to take your brush, dip it into the paint, and I'm going to roll that brush just so the tip of the brush is nice and pointy. Okay. And if you have a practice piece of paper or even the another side of the paper that you're working on, I would suggest practicing first. Because what you want to do is just, well, first, before we do anything, come back and let's chat for a second, because this part can be stressful. As stressful as painting can be, right? Okay, here I am. All right, let's breathe for a second. Let's put our brushes down and just breathe. Okay. Just let it all out. Just take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and just breathe. Shake it all out, shake it all out, shake it all out, right? I know, shake it, shake, 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 shake. All right, breathe. Okay, fingers. All right, here we go. All right, now we're ready for some trees. Come on back, people. Let's come back to the trees. Trees you want to do when you feel loose and relaxed, because they can go wonky easy. So you take that brush, it's really watery, and you want to just draw a line and bring it up off the page. See how easy it is? So lay it down and just lift it off the page. So we're gonna try it again. Lay it down and then lift it off the page. See how light and feathery it is? Okay, so now, and the cool thing is, what you want to do is start with a skinny tree first. We can always get a bigger tree, but it's harder to make a bigger tree skinny, okay? So you want to dip your paintbrush in that black, that really watery, inky black. Then I want you to roll your brush a little so that it has a nice little point. And see how in the art, it starts kind of down in the green and then it wiggles up. It only goes to a certain part right here. It's not too big. It's maybe, I'd say about 3 inches big. So let me show you. You're gonna start down in the green. You're gonna wiggle it up, okay? So that's not me not looking. I'm just kind of going for it. So just kind of wiggle it, just like that. And then lift your brush off. So see how there's a tree there. And he's sitting in the dark part of the grass. He's not up in the light part. He's down in the dark part, right? Okay, everybody go for it. Take a deep breath. And if you want an unwiggly tree and you want a straight tree, you can make a straight tree. That's okay. So once I've made the wiggly, I want to just make another branch going off to the side, okay? So I want to take another branch and bring it up, okay? And then you want to balance it and just kind of wiggle it off. So see how it's starting to look like a tree there? Gigi, you look skeptical. I know you're laughing. Okay, so just bring it down. Just lightly bring it off the page. This is where you want to have lots and lots of patience. And just let it kind of swirl off. And I like the contrast with the black. I think it looks really cool. Yeah, there you go. That's good. All right. And then less is more. So let those branches sit there and dry up because we can always add some more branches. So let those guys sit for a minute and dry. And once you've got the tree pretty much set, we're going to rinse our brush out. And we are going to now add this little fence right in here, okay? You can see that little fence right there. So the way I did mine, a fence might look a little weird. I'll put it in there just to show you how to do the fence, but I should have probably, see how it kind of dipped and I had a lot of space in here. I don't have too much space for a fence, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in there anyways, just to show you. Okay, so let's see how I can do it so that you can actually see. I'll run it down. So see how it starts here and a line goes down? You're gonna start at the top of the tree. See if we can do it like this. So you're gonna start it back in here and you're just gonna make a little line going down. And then do another line underneath it, kind of like that. Okay, so it's like 2 creaky little lines. And then once you do the 2 little lines, it's just a matter of putting another little line going up through it. And I'm doing this upside down, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of a little, see how it's kind of a little wonky fence back there? We'll consider it a wobbly old country fence. It's just kind of falling apart. I'm just going to put it down there. Just going to add a little. It almost looks like a bridge in a weird way. So once you get that little fence there, we'll let it dry, because here's the deal, if you don't love it, you can always put a little grass in the foreground to kind of blur it a little bit and just only see certain parts of it, okay? So let that little fence dry. Then I want you to does everybody have a brush that's kind of, it doesn't have to be a fan brush like this. Anything that's kind of like that's got little, yeah, there you go, a fan brush. Anybody else have a fan brush? Let's see what you have. There you go, perfect. Do you have one of those, Danielle? Okay, anything that's, okay, and if you don't have a fan brush, don't worry about it. You can use a thin little brush. But so grab your fan brush and let's play with that a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to dip the brush into water, okay? And we're going to use the fan brush to make some grass. So I want you to dip it into the green, and then whatever yellow you have, okay? I'm going to get a little bit more yellow because I'm running low on my yellow. The bottom line is I want it somewhat light, okay? Because what we're going to do is create some blades of grass. So it looks a little bit taller. So we're going to do some blades of grass down in this area, okay? So I'm going to take the fan brush, and this is another chance to practice a little bit. So take your canvas and just drag it and see what you can do with it, okay? So just so you can see what you can do with a fan brush. Just let it wiggle, okay? So if I want to make blades of grass, I'm just going to start at the top and just lift it off the page. See how it starts looking like blades of grass? So I'm going to go ahead and grab the color. You might need just a tiny bit of white or just a little bit more yellow if you don't have the white. And I'm going to put some blades of grass down at the bottom. I probably used a little too much white. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to add grass. See how I added just a little bit of grass? So it starts to look. And you can take your brush and twist it. So just kind of give it a little twist, and that'll give it just a little. So I'm just going to go all the way along the bottom edge. Again, I've got too much white, but that's okay. So if you're going to do blades of grass, you want to do that at the very bottom edge, because that's the grass that you see close up. It gives it a little bit more perspective. Okay. Just keep adding the grass. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can do a couple swoops here. There you go. Yeah. And then what you can do is take your fan brush and lay it and just scooch it all across the edge here. Just give it a little, see how I'm almost pushing the green up into the lighter yellow green. I'm just taking my brush and just kind of pushing it up. I'm going to flip it. Don't forget, you can flip your brush over if there's not enough paint. Just flip it over. Just taking little tiny amounts of paint and I'm pushing it up. See how it's starting to look a little bit more 3D? Yep. And I kind of like that with the contrast of the lighter color in the background. So let's rinse our fan brush out. How's everybody's grass look? Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. Yeah. That's good. And especially Danielle, since you don't have a fan brush, if you end up getting one, that would be helpful. Or even something kind of fun like this one. It's in your daughter, she likes to paint. She'd have a great time with a fan brush too.
Yeah, she just said that she would, that's the only one she doesn't have and she'd like one. So I'll get
Yeah.
her one.
Oh, good. There you go. So now you both need one. There you go. Okay, so we're going to rinse that brush out. Cindy and Samantha, how's your grass coming? Let me bring it back over. Oh, there you go. Good. All right. I like it. Those are cool. Nice. Oh, very good, Gigi. I like it. Okay. Now let's get some color going. Yeah, that looks great. So let's, we've got all these greens and blues and a little yellow. Let's get this pinky sort of action happening, okay? So I have red and I also have red ochre. I'm gonna probably use the brighter red with white to get my pink flowers. Now here's the deal, if you don't like pink, don't add the white. We'll just have red flowers in the tree. Or if you wanna have just green leaves on the tree, you can do that as well. Cindy, I know, was it white you didn't have? Oh, whoops, I got you muted. I'm setting you up for failure, Cindy. Okay, go ahead, what was that?
We do not have white, no.
Okay, so then why don't you just use, you have yellow, right?
We do.
Why don't you do a little mix of green and yellow and do just leaves?
Okay.
And then we'll do your color down in this bottom area and it'll look like poppies.
Okay.
Okay? And then everybody else, if you want to do the pink, just go ahead and squirt out just a little bit of red and white, and that'll get you your pink. So for these little
Can we do blue?
flowery trees, you know, I'll move you back there, Cindy, there you go. If you want to do these little pink colors, just grab a little of the white and then a little bit of the red and mix up the pink. And you can go as light as you want or as dark as you want. And creating that light pink color, right? And this is what I think is probably one of the most fun part. If you ever stippled, that's kind of an old thing. If you did stenciling ever and you tap the color into the stencil, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our brush and we're gonna tap the color right onto the canvas. So see how I'm just making that tapping motion? So I'm just gonna go like this, tap, tap, tap. I'm just tapping it. See, I'm not laying it flat. I'm going right up and down and just moving across the canvas. And you can do that with the green and yellow, Cindy and Samantha. And I'm just tapping in the pink, okay? And it's easiest to lay it flat and just tap the color in. And you might need to pick up a little bit more white. But just kind of, here's the deal, you don't have to have the color land exactly on the branch. Like, if you notice in this one that I did, the color is all over the place, and there's a couple branches here and there, but it's not, the pink is not attached itself to the branch. It's just kind of loosely around the branch, because that's really how flowers are. They're just kind of around. So just keep tapping and try not to focus on one specific area, just kind of go all the way around. And maybe pick up a little bit of white and add a little white as a highlight to it. And Cindy, if you want to highlight with a little bit of yellow, that would be your highlight color. And if you're going to highlight with white, you want to consider where the sun is. So the sun is going to be more on the outer edge. So you just kind of want to just tap in a little white on the outer edge here, just to give it like a little sun kiss, right? So see how it's coming along? And the fun thing is that we're going through this. I'll be sending the replay of this, and you can do it over a couple times. Danielle, your daughter, might want to try it on her own and compare how she did with you. And I always like to see how everybody's turns out. And then, so once you get the pink up here, you can then add, in this one, we've got a little bit of red down here in the foreground. So I want you to rinse your brush out. And now this is where we're gonna add what we kind of want to call poppies. And it's straight red. And it's the same sort of tapping technique, but you want the flowers to almost be bigger down here because you'd see them closer up, right? So you want fairly large poppies down in here. So see how it looks like you've got a little bit more of a 3D effect because these guys are a little bit bigger down here and a little bit smaller up here. So bigger down here, smaller up here. And then you might want to put just a couple kind of big ones just down there. Now, what you could do too is take off a little of that extra red and see how there's almost like a smear of red over here. It almost looks like it's poppies, but in the background. Just kind of, that's probably a little bit dark, so I'm going to rinse my brush out. And I'm just going to just lightly feather in just a little bit of red, almost to make it look like there's some poppies off in the distance. And I'm going to use my finger. I'm just going to kind of smear it out a little bit. So it's like, oh, are there poppies back in there? So see how it kind of makes it look like there's something going on back there. Let's see, Danielle. There you go. And just maybe add a little bit more red to give it some more like pop. Well, let's see. Hold on. Let me unmute you. Hold on. I can't hear you.
Add more red where?
What I would do is add more red to your white so it's a deeper pink.
Here?
Yeah, like
Okay.
in the, right into, so maybe more in the base down in here.
Okay.
And then, but keep your light white sort of pink on the outside and the darker pink towards the center.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to fill in just a little bit more pink or reddish color down here so it kind of looks a little bit more poppyish. And then I can take just a tiny bit. I know you don't have white, Cindy, but you could even use a little
Girls, if
tiny
you ever want to take
dot.
these classes, she has a bunch of them online that could be part of your
Here, I'll mute Danielle. No, that's okay. What I would say, Cindy, is I'm going to dab in just a little bit of white down here, but since you don't have the white, you could dab in just a little bit of black just to offset it a little bit, and I'll do that to show you. Just a little bit of black. Just to almost look like it's the center of the flower. See how it's just kind of just like a little center. Okay. So now here I have a little bit of pink running through my sky. If you have some leftover pink, And Cindy, I probably would just not do this part since you don't have the white because the red's going to be too harsh. You can take your brush and just kind of just add a little bit of pink into the sky. So it almost looks like a sunset. And it's very light. See how I added just a little bit of pink? How's it going, Gigi? Oops. I keep setting y'all up. I'm like asking how it's going.
I think I messed up the flowers a little bit.
Let's see. Hold it up so we can see.
I forgot I had to paint poppies and I kept doing blossoms on the bottom.
Oh, I don't mind that. I think that looks pretty. That looks really pretty. It's funny because I know when I teach my classes in person, I'm always saying I'll sprinkle fairy dust, but now you guys, I can't sprinkle fairy dust from afar. I can only virtually spread it, virtually show you fairy dust. Bring you back here. So we are almost done. Because really, that's basically it right there, right? Now, what you can do is keep fussing with it. You can keep adding some green to it. You can add some more pink flowers to it, which I'm probably going to do. Add some more pink flowers. Just going to tap in some more pink and make sure you go around and do the edges if you haven't done the edges. I'm just going to pop mine up and then I'm going to come back. And now who wants to ask me questions? Anybody? They look good. Cindy, let's see yours. There you go. And you know what you could do, Cindy? Is the tree could go up into the sky to give it some interest.
My branches didn't go up. I didn't realize that until later on. So
Yeah, but see, that's what's cool is that you could just go ahead and just drag a branch up there.
I can just drag from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Start in the middle of the tree and just drag it up.
Okay.
Let's see, Danielle. There you go. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Now, what you could do too is that the way I did mine, the branches, you can see they look a little bit gray in some spots and a little bit black in some spots. So if you want to highlight the tree, what you'd want to do is just maybe mix up a little bit of white and black so you get a little bit of a gray. And then just highlight those branches just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And again, I'm doing this kind of upside down, so you can kind of fluff it up a little bit. I tend to like gray trees as opposed to brown trees, because really if you look at trees, they're kind of not really brown. They're more of a gray. Take a look at trees. It's funny. Everybody, it's this big conspiracy. Everybody says they're brown, but if you look at it, they're kind of a I don't know, grayish. We call it grays. When you paint and you start thinking more like an artist in your daily life, you start seeing things differently. Like as you're driving down the road, if you want to learn a little bit about perspective, look at the road and how it kind of, as you're driving maybe in Middleburg, and see how it just kind of narrows as you go. Shoot, I'll pull up what I'm working on while you guys are painting, and I'll show you a little perspective. This is one thing I'm in the middle of, and you can see the city in the background. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see very well, but there's like a bridge thing happening. I'm going to take this one down, and I'll show you another one.
If I were you, I would start with the trunk and just like thicken up the trunk a little, and then bring it all the way up, like you said.
I don't know, it's hard to see from here.
And you don't even have to make a new branch. You can just connect them to like.
See the little seat
like
there, and then you've got the dark trees in the background, and then it fades out into in the back, right? So when you're driving around, really start looking at things differently and you can see the little people way in the back. I'm still working on this, so it's got a ways to go. But it's kind of fun when you look at trees differently and you kind of see things differently. It gives you a new perspective. So that's something I would let you think about, you know? Yeah. So who wants to show me their art? Let's see. I like it, Danielle. I think it's fun and cheerful. I love it. I love it.
So bringing up my tree.
Yes, see, there you go. That looks good. And you know what, guys? When you get canvas, that's going to help you a lot. We can ask you something, Danielle?
No, I was going to say, I mean, I really was skeptical when I first started. I thought, I didn't think it was going to turn out well at all, but I'm pleasantly surprised.
Really pretty.
There you go. There you go. And yeah, so what I was saying too, Cindy, is that once you get canvas, it's gonna help, because what happens with that paper, it sucks all the paint in, where the canvas, it'll kind of glide a little bit more. So definitely get some.
And we can do this class again, right? You recorded this, so I can when we get the canvas, I can do it again.
Absolutely. And I've got all the other classes that you can do over and over and over. So any class that I've gotten, like I've done sunflowers, that was this month's pre-recorded one. And this one, I've got some other florals. I'm going to record an abstract next time and just kind of show you some elements of abstract painting, because I think that would be fun. And as always, I always want suggestions. So if you guys want to learn how to do something, let me know and we'll give it a shot, right? And Gigi, let's see yours. Oh, that looks good. I like it. That looks really good. That looks like, is that a big canvas, like an 11 by 14?
11 by 14.
Oh, okay, cool. Hello, daughter.
She wants to do it for sure.
Well, good. That's good. I like it.
She wanted tonight, but now she's like, she's been sitting here the whole time, so now she's intrigued.
Yeah.
And we're not threatening, right? And it's fun because every time we have these live classes, it's a different group of people. Some people can make it, some people can't. So it's fun.
Say hi to Mark.
Oh, hello, Mark. Hello. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, here's the art. So we all. Yeah, there you go. Do you guys mind if I take a picture of you guys and your art from my vantage point? Here, hold up your art so I can take a picture. Awesome. Here, you know, I'm not very good, so let me see if I can go. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I hope you had fun tonight, and I will see you online, and post your pictures in the little members only group. Don't be shy about it, okay?
Can we post on regular social media too? And tag you,
with
of course?
Reckless Abandon, and invite people to join. The more the merrier.
Awesome.
Okay. Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Night. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
You're welcome.